In light of recent events, I decided to celebrate Cloud9's comeback into the CS scene by checking out some Sh1ro demos. In this video we will be reviewing how Sh1ro plays the AWP on the CT side of Overpass. We'll be going over different individual plays he pulls depending on which spawn he gets, how he supports and plays with his teammates, what angles he holds, and try to get to know his thought process and see his reactions in different scenarios. When Sh1ro gets the best spawn for A, he usually gets Axile to molly entrance for him and take a deep angle to try and get an early pick. After the initial shot, Sh1ro usually backs up and holds an angle from a different position. This is something that both Sh1ro and other great operators such as Device, Kenny S, and Jame are very good at doing. Taking a shot and backing up to different positions allows you to get more opportunities to get frags without putting yourself at risk. As Sh1ro demonstrates here, this can be especially threatening as it keeps your opponent on their toes as they can never know for sure where you are. Here we can see Sh1ro do the same peek as before, but this time he backs up straight away to long. Here we can see another variation of the mid peek, and it should be noted that Sh1ro only takes an aggressive peek like this when he has the best spawn for mid. If Sh1ro gets this B spawn, he sometimes likes to go B for an aggressive peek down monster. Notice how he takes a very tight angle to the left, as it is very common for people to jump over to the left for safety. So Sh1ro tries to capitalize off this and grab a player off guard. In this round, Sh1ro has a very mediocre spawn, but decides nonetheless to spice things up and go to B. As the rest of the B defense pushes short, Sh1ro is tasked with the assignment of holding monster, which he does from this snazzy off angle, which nets him a leg onto Shox, who takes him down. It's worth mentioning that 90% of the time Sh1ro plays A at the start of the round, but it's always powerful to switch things up a bit and keep the opposition guessing as to your whereabouts. Sh1ro sometimes likes to go heaven at the start of the round to check for the 5-man boost. However, this is likely not something you have to worry about in your games, especially if you're just playing MM or Face It. This is a wallbang that I saw Sh1ro pull against Liquid. I'm not really sure of its purpose. My guess is to counter the 5-man boost or just to catch people jumping off the fence, but maybe just fluffed the lineup and I'm a fool for falling for it. In all the demos I watched of Sh1ro, I only saw him take a con peek once, but notice how methodically he goes about it. He scopes in early, even before he gets into the connector, and shifts down with his crosshair low to catch off any Ferrari peekers at the bottom of the stairs. Also, since Nafany is spraying through con, it is likelier the T's will peek from close to the left wall, as it is unlikelier for the spray to hit him. After missing a shot, he instantly backs away to banana and holds connector for a bit to see if anyone tries to capitalize off of his aggression. Here we can see how Sh1ro reacts if an A hit comes his way. Often he jumps spots like this until he sees an enemy. As soon as he does, he scopes onto toilets, takes a shot, then moves his scopes to Kerrigan, and finally backs up bank. Again, this is a great example of how Sh1ro takes a single shot and then backs up, taking the fight from another angle and therefore getting more shots in. Whenever Sh1ro sees that an A hit is incoming, he likes to utilize his smoke. Here he drops his smoke long, and the reason for that is to allow him to focus his fire towards toilets without the danger of being picked off from long. However, he is also aware that people can jump through the smoke, especially on an eco round like this. In this round, Nafany has long covered, so Sh1ro doesn't have to worry about getting picked off from there. He instead drops his smoke toilets and is able to isolate banana and get a frag on Naf. After that, he plays it a bit safe, backs up, and then gets another pick on OC. If Axile has the best spawn instead of Sh1ro, they like to double molly mid entrance and playground, and Sh1ro tosses a flash for Axile to swing mid. This is a very punishing play to pull, especially at lower levels, as people pushing up towards mid will usually get blind as the flash lands right here. This right here is a bait setup we see the Cloud9 players use quite a bit. It's very simple but powerful. Sh1ro holds a very aggressive angle through the toilets while Axile covers the banana flank. What is so powerful about this setup is that if you get a pick in it, your teammate is ready to cover the trade if it comes from banana and is prepared to trade you if you miss your shot. So let's say the opera here gets a pick toilets. He can both back up a little bit and prepare for the refrag from here, from a slightly different angle,
and his teammate is covering banana, so if an enemy decides to take advantage of the AWPer's forward position by trading through divider, he gets punished by this guy. The only real weakness in this setup is that you're leaving long open, so theoretically a guy could sneak past here and take down the setup from behind, or even go down to B and melt down the defense there.
Here we can see another small variation of the CT setup. The only real difference is that Sh1ro holds a bit more passive due to the smoking toilets. In this round, C9 pull a gamble stack towards B as Sh1ro leaves Axile alone on A. However, to give the impression that nothing is out of the ordinary, the A players toss a double molly towards mid entrance and playground. This is something the duo does almost in every round, so throwing this before rotating towards B can both help Axile in holding A alone and cover the fact that there are 4 people on B. Finally, I noticed this setup from Cloud9. It's a 3A setup where Hobbit takes over connector. Axile plays this aggressive off angle to cover anyone that walks past here, and Sh1ro holds party from the regular divider angle, protecting Axile's back. This setup is really powerful since this angle from the Axile is usually cleared from party, not from here. Sh1ro also covers the party angle and Hobbit has connector, which means that Axile can hold this unusual and effective angle. It should be noted that in this round Hobbit goes down in connector and therefore the chain gets broken. However, Cloud9 is prepared for this, so if Hobbit goes down, Axile goes slightly more aggressive and Sh1ro holds connector to see if they push up. After no one pops up, he backs on up and they triple up on the B side, leaving Axile alone in a very aggressive position on A.